Hello and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Alright, we have discovered the location where theoretically the village elder is supposed to be, so let's head inside and see if he's really here. Hey, look he is. I am indeed Sahasrahla, the village elder and a descendant of the 7 wise men. Oh, really? Dark Wolf, I'm surprised a young man like yourself is searching for the Sword of Evil's Bane. Not just anyone can use that weapon. Legends say only the hero who has won the 3 pendants can wield the sword. Do you really want to find it? Yeah! Good. As a test, can you retrieve the Pendant of Courage from the East Palace? If you bring it here, I will tell you more of the legend and give you a magical artifact. Ooh, that sounds fun. Now go forward to the palace. Now, before we do, we can open this up. There's another way to open it. When there's these round circles, we can either use a bomb or an item that we'll get shortly. But for now, I think we will just bomb this open. And inside, we get bombs, money, and money. Alright. So we are going to go right to the dungeon. I will just quickly do one other thing here in this area. Yeah, let's just run past these Armos Knights. I don't feel like dealing with them. At least whenever possible. Let's head down. I can't jump off that. That's unfortunate. Can I jump off you? Yay! Alright. And down here. Because down in this area, we have a little knight that we can ignore. We have a ring of little pegs that we're going to come back to later. But we also have our second small fairy fountain. Very nice little location to be aware of. Now I have to actually pay attention to what I'm doing and not just let myself get killed on the way back. Wonderful. So, let's head up into our first dungeon. I believe is officially known as the Eastern Palace. Let's see if we can avoid waking these things up. Nope. There, you go over there. Leave me alone. Go all the way up and around. Get this knight to move out of our way. Or just physically move it. Alright. Come back down here, up these stairs, and then this set of stairs. Oops, that was poorly done by me. And finally, this last set of stairs, and inside dungeon number 1, where we have no information. So there's 3 doors here. The left and the right don't have anything of interest to us, so we will ignore them. Since we're going to be able to see what we could have seen going through them anyway, just pathways that end shortly. I do not at all remember what these guys are called, but they are very simple little enemies. There's also a little switch here that I'm not sure why it's quite so subtle, but it's there. Now, here we just have some bowling balls that we have to dance around. Every now and then there's a giant bowling ball that comes, which is always amusing. Probably could just go right through that door, but first we'll head down here, where we will collect 100 rupees, and a little bit more on top of that. Alright, let's move forward. We're going to go over to the right first. The left is ultimately where we want to go to, but there's at least one particular thing I want to get here. Now these guys tend to be pretty annoying. Oh my. Usually they don't hurt you at all, they just run away a lot and do this jump. But the spin attack works very well against them. But yeah, they're just very frustrating the way that they just run away from you. Just feels like a waste of time, but that's fine. Let's go to the top door first. So, in here we have an anti-fairy, and we can show off a pretty sweet little trick that's nice to know about. Knowing me, I'll probably mess up 1,000 times, but yeah, if you hit them with the magic power, they turn from an anti-fairy into an actual fairy, which is an awesome way within levels to pretty much have a free source of healing at just about any time. Collect the dungeon map, take a look around real quick. So just 2 floors, a fairly small dungeon. You've already been through, I don't know, maybe half of it. Now we'll come through here. We're going to go to the other side. Like I said, really, the left is where we ultimately wanted to go to, so if you don't care about the map, then don't bother coming over to this right side. Oops. I always like to collect everything, though. Step on that switch, open the door. And more, what are they? Stalfos. Don't really need to kill them at all, do I? Let's just move on. Alright, here. These ones we do have to take out. But now we have these pots to use. That's always fun. There we go. Oh good. A little more magic power. Could always use that. And our health is full again. Alright. Little key. Or little chest, rather. So, yes, as I think I mentioned a video or 2 ago, the compass will show you where the boss is, but nothing else. So, unfortunately, tends not to be particularly valuable, but we'll always get them. We have these little telepathic totems, I don't know. Allows us to communicate with Sahasrahla or potentially other people in the future, but Dark Wolf, it is I, Sahasrahla. I can talk to you telepathically when you touch these tiles. Here is a hint. You can use the treasure hidden in this palace to defeat armored foes. Well, that's good to know. We're going to ignore just about everything in this room for now. Now we're just going to come right across, where we have a feature I don't love. It's probably actually very, very clever. And right now it doesn't matter, but it's going to be annoying later where you have times where you just can't see Link. It's probably just me complaining more than anything else, but still. Oops, not paying attention. So we have some more anti-fairies here. We can, oops. Yeah, a lot of times I'll end up doing this. So the anti-fairies take away health and magic. And so a lot of times you'll try and hit them with the magic powder and end up just wasting your magical abilities because you keep throwing the powder and missing them, or at least I do that. And then, you know, they hit you, they take even more of your magic away. It turns into a bit of a slippery slope. You don't really need to kill all these guys. I just felt like it. So we got the key that we needed here. We can continue on. I'm going to take off my magic powder before I waste it. That guy out. And we can go through this door here. We can take one more peek at the map just so that we're aware of what we've been doing. So we've done just about everything on the first floor, and we're kind of circling back around to where we were earlier, but coming from a different direction. We have this little special room here. That's pathetic. You notice all these anti-fairies here kind of circling around a bottle, and you may want to try to pick that up, but you know, take them out with our magic powder. But these anti-fairies are immune to the magic powder, so that won't work. But once all the enemies are killed, they fire away, and we can pick this up, hit this switch, and collect the big key, master key of the dungeon. That lets us open this door, but probably more interestingly, once we get back into this room that we just kind of breezed through earlier, it will allow us to, let's just kill this guy, open this big chest and collect the bow. You found the bow. You can shoot arrows until you run out. That seems reasonable. Let's take it out, see what happens. So yeah, these guys drop here, which are a little goofy. They just kind of throw their heads at you, and then eventually they leave. Nothing really comes of it. So we can see that the bow and arrow, these guys can't be hurt by, well, they can be, but they take more hits from our sword, and there is a version of them that we'll see in a little bit that can't be hurt by our sword, but they are very susceptible to bow and arrow. And these pots here have some bow and arrows, or some arrow refills under them. There's also, if you jump off this ledge into these pots, a very nice little thing to know about, which is that there are a couple of fairies in here that you can collect to refill your health, or you can snag them in a bottle, and then you just warp right back to where you were. Handy little trick to have in your back pocket. And here, I'm going to kill our little squeaky dudes, and take you out easily. Hey, back here. Hey. Oops. You can only hit them when their eyes open. I have a tendency to take all of those guys out and then light the fires so I can see. Does that make sense? No, it does not. Very specifically is stupid, but I do it anyway. Now we don't really need to do anything in here, but there's just a little treasure room with the anti-fairies here. Probably you're better off just trying to avoid it, but I certainly can't resist. If you need the extra health, you can use your magic powder on those anti-fairies there. For me, though, we're going to head up to the second floor. As always, transform the anti-fairies if you need to. But what you really have to do is hit that switch, open this door, and we are just about to the end. Now, we don't actually have to take these guys out, but it's nice just to have them out of your way. Oops. Not turn the way I want to. There we go. So there's 4 switches in here, and you'll notice that these 2 don't do anything, and this one doesn't do anything. But this switch is the one that opens the door, so that's all you actually had to do in there. And then in here, you just have to dodge these little bowling balls to hit the switch that we need, which is this one up here, and then we can leave. Alright, take care of you, and then, oops. Absolutely absurd that I keep getting hit by these guys. Alright, so we have this red version, which actually does 100% have to be killed with the bow and arrow. And it takes 2 shots, but still very easy to deal with ultimately. A lot of times they can catch all of them, but just wasn't fast enough. Now, you're better off taking care of these guys first before opening any of the pots, because you're going to be able to get some refills here. Although they tend to drop arrows anyway. And I don't really need anything under here, but might as well, just because I like to show everything off. So, we're going to head up north, and that brings us to the boss, the Armos Knights, I believe they are. These guys can be dealt with just with your sword, but it's a lot easier and faster with the bow. It takes 3 shots for each of them. They do a couple of different formations. I think they're assuming you're going to be down at the bottom of the screen when they go up around like that, which obviously we were not. Wow. So once they're down to just 1 remaining knight, he gets all angry and turns red and starts smashing around. Doesn't get any stronger. Still just takes 3 shots. Although I've now managed to waste all my arrows. But he's still almost dead, so this wouldn't take long. And not uncommon for games like this with kind of the 3D. It doesn't always do perfect with realizing where you physically are in space. So you have times where really you should not be hit, but the game doesn't quite understand where you both are, so it counts it as a hit. It's actually pretty good most of the time, but is a problem every now and then. Anyway, we have taken out the Armos Knights, we have collected our heart container, and we have collected the... Well, I guess we'll wait and let the game tell us. Or not. I don't know. There it is. Pendant of Courage. Take it to Sahasrahla. 2 pendants remain. Whee! Alright. And we could end things here, but I think why don't we just quickly get back to Sahasrahla's quick video. And we have a good bit of collecting to do next time, so let's head back in here, tell them about our victory. Hey, buddy. Oh, you got the Pendant of Courage. Now I will tell you more of the Legend of Zelda. 3 or 4 generations ago. 3 or 4 is not a long time. That should not have been lost to history. An order of knights protected the royalty of Hylia. These knights of Hyrule were also guardians of the Pendant of Courage. Unfortunately, most of them were destroyed in the Great War against Evil that took place when the 7 wise men created their seal. Among the descendants of the Knights of Hyrule, a hero must appear. I see. Dark Wolf, you. I believe Dark Wolf, I believe, I don't know. You should get the remaining pendants and carry this with you. This is a treasure passed down by the families of the wise men. I want you to have it. Ooh, he gives you the Pegasus shoes. Now you can execute a devastating dash attack. A helpful item is hidden in the cave on the east side of Lake Hylia. Get it. That was the ice rod, which we already got. But we can also do this now. Whee! Other relatives of the wise men are hiding from the evil wizard's followers. You should find them. And we actually will. And they will do some interesting things for us. Well, actually, one of them won't. One of them we already met. He just tells us to get the Book of Mudora. But all of that we can deal with next time. So I think we will end things here for now. And when we come back, it's going to be time for a little more treasure hunting and a little more dungeon diving. But till then, see ya.